be able to hear me breathing.
Yep, it's okay. Welcome to Daegu, South Korea. It is a beautiful Sunday morning, and even though it is mid to end of November really, it is gorgeous out. So we're going to take a walk along the river. We're going to take you with us. We're going to make commentary along the way. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the live chat. If you're watching this as a recording, pop it into the comments and I will answer. I have lived on and off in Korea 8 out of the last 11 years, so I have lots of experience traveling in and around to and from this beautiful country, and I'm happy to take you along on my journey and answer any questions you may have. So we are here on Shincheon, which literally means the new river, interestingly. And this is now the center of the city, but this was once...
Wow, this is the outskirts over here.
Well, this is still the river is the center.
Oh,
of
the river is the center
of
the city.
Between the two halves of the city. Basically.
That is true. It divides the
Divides
new
the
city.
But it used to delineate it entirely. Over to the left there, that's now completely developed.
Hi, Susan.
Good morning, Susan.
Said the volume is okay.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us.
Good.
Okay, great. We're not mic'd. We didn't think to bring the mics, so we're just going with the internal mic, which means sound quality will absolutely vary based on how close I am. Oh, look at these beautiful Japanese maples off to the right. I was correct when I predicted they would make for beautiful autumn foliage. Japanese maples for the win. Lacy and lovely. It is surprisingly warm. It's one of the things we love about Daegu, is that it is not very cold here in the winter. Certainly nothing like the rest of Korea. I'm going to go to the other side. You can see the dragon. I don't know if they can see the dragon ahead of us. The Dragon Hill, as I call it.
It's hard to tell what you'd be referring to.
It's pretty misty.
It's the forward mound.
Yeah, that forward mound is what I call the dragon. Good morning, Takeda. Welcome back. I'm sorry I have not been doing nearly as much live streaming as I predicted. I spent Wednesday, the entire day from about 4 a.m. onward, making pies for Thanksgiving. And I have no appliances, so I had to make pastry dough for 9 pies by hand with a pastry blender. And that took 3 hours just to make the pastry, and then I still had to actually make the pies themselves. So I was pretty toast after that. That was Thursday. Wednesday, I unfortunately had a procedure for my finger. You all may recall, I developed an infection in the middle finger of my left hand in the middle joint, and that has still not gone away. And so they did a biopsy on Wednesday. They did a punch test. They punched a chunk of skin out of my joint, out of my finger, and sent it away for testing. And so I have stitches, and I was pretty toasty after that. And then the next day I had to spend 10 hours making pie. So yeah, I've been kind of recovering from both of that back-to-back 1-2 punch.
Yep, all of our appliances are primarily in the States still.
Yep, they're in storage somewhere. And I'd forgotten that I have no appliances when I volunteered to do all of this pie making. Because normally, with a food processor and a standing mixer, one can work pretty quickly. Oh, and also when one has one's apple peeler corer.
Oh, come on, you had me.
I did.
was here.
I did. And you spent, I don't know, 2-3 hours?
I did not spend 2 or 3 hours peeling 10 apples.
Oh, right. No, then I had to, no, but then I had to core them and slice them by hand.
Oh, that's true.
So
I was in bed.
I have not been doing much. I have not done any live streaming on the Creative Contessa channel since our Monday improvised medieval sewing party, and I apologize for that. I've just been finding myself absolutely exhausted. And unfortunately for live streaming, you really need to be energetic. Apparently, no one wants to watch a semi-comatose Contessa barely sewing.
What is it? Pum?
P-O-M-M-E, apples.
P-U-M. Maybe yum. Never mind.
Oh.
Yum. Yes, yum.
Yeah, I made pumpkin pie, I made apple pie, and I made lemon meringue. And unfortunately, I stupidly made the lemon meringue last. You should always make the lemon meringue first because it really needs lots of time to sit. If it doesn't sit, then the custard will break. When people go to inexpertly cut it, which is what happened at the Thanksgiving party for which I was cooking.
Fun.
So the lemon meringue turned from, well, the meringue is still there, but the custard turned into not something that was sliceable. It was very sad and looked very unappealing, and no one ate it. So, well, a couple of die-hard lemon meringue fans ate it, but the Koreans had no idea what this hideous-looking thing was, so...
We'll know on Wednesday what's up with the finger, hopefully.
Yeah, we will be getting the results, hopefully. On Wednesday, they also drew a bunch of blood. That's still a little tender where they drew the blood in my right elbow.
All the pies are definitely eaten at this point.
No, the lemon meringues are still in our fridge.
Oh, they are? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Thursday. I didn't realize they were in our fridge still.
There's a lemon meringue, the lemon meringue that didn't get destroyed, more or less.
So come to Korea, have a lemon meringue pie.
I make a lemon meringue pie where the lemon custard is absolutely assertively and acerbically zesty, just like me.
I zested 12 lemons and juiced them all.
Yeah, you did a great job. And that zest made a really yummy, not very zesty lemon custard.
Takeda says he volunteers this tribute to consume the meringue.
Oh, Takeda, I love you. If you hop on a plane, I will pop it in the freezer. It will be waiting for you.
Here's the question of the day. How was your meeting with Dr. Kim?
Oh, yes. So I met yesterday with Dr.
Not a medical doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Minji Kim, who is a world-renowned expert in historical Korean clothing. And she and I hashed out a schedule.
Rachel, bicycle behind you. Hello.
She and I hashed out a schedule of museum visits that will hopefully end up including handling the extant medieval garments. And historical, not medieval by Korean standards, but early to mid-Joseon. I have to go through, I have gone through eMuseum, which is this amazing resource that actually collects all of, or a large part of all of the objects in Korea's museums.
They can't hear you because you're in front of the camera now. Just a sec. Oop, as I fall.
Right.
Okay, don't fall into the river. Yes.
So I've gone to eMuseum, this amazing eMuseum.kr, I think. That is this amazing online database aggregating all items across most of the museums in Korea. And you can actually go and look at the items. They're visually cataloged, so you can see a picture of them. And then you can get the catalog information, and then you can request to view them. So I've been picking a couple of pieces at each of the museums. Most of these museums I have never been to before, so it's going to be completely new. I'm going to discuss, I haven't had a chance yet to discuss the idea of live streaming with Minji, but I'm hoping she'll be okay with that. Because obviously the live stream tour of a museum I think is more effective because it allows you all the chance to ask questions while we're still there in front of the object. So I'm hoping we'll be able to do that. We wanted to go to Haeinsa, which is one of the oldest Buddhist temples still standing in Korea. They actually have a small and rare collection of extremely well conserved late 16th, early 17th century royal garments. Hashtag, please forgive me my sins. That's why they were donated to the temple. But Haeinsa is really weird. They don't want their collection being examined by researchers. They don't have it out on display. We actually called and if we could arrange a special viewing. Nope, they don't do that. They won't do that. And when Dr. Kim actually wanted to, when she published a paper about votive garments from Buddhist temples that have survived from the Middle Ages, she asked if she could use their free, copyright-free Commons, Creative Commons photo of the garment in her article, and they told her no. even though it's out there on their website, and she's one of the world's renowned experts in this field. It's absolutely bizarre. I've never been to an institution where the curators weren't absolutely thrilled that anyone took an interest in their esoteric items, because I will tell you, there are not many people out there who are interested in these garments the way we are. There just aren't. And definitely not in Korea, because, it's only now that the young people in Korea are awakening to the beauty of their own history and culture.
The river's not very deep today. They've let it drain quite a lot.
Yeah,
not sure
certain.
why.
Yeah, I'm not certain why they've let the river is. We do not let nature manage the water levels of this river. They decided that the number of deaths that created was not worth letting nature take its course. So it is now a highly managed river.
Usually when it's this slow, there's going to be a storm. They're expecting lots of rain.
We're not expecting lots of rain.
No, nothing right now.
Yeah. So yeah, that meeting with Minji was fantastic. We were like long lost friends. She's very excited about our research together. I'm very excited. So we have all kinds of interesting visits planned. And I also learned why Daegu University has one of the largest collections of historical Korean garments in the world, because before 2000, any historical Korean garments that were excavated were automatically sent to Daegu University because they had the facilities to conserve them properly. None of the other museums did. But now, since then, basically, local museums have developed the appropriate facilities to maintain these beautiful garments. And that's why now there are literally, I've discovered 200 plus museums scattered across Korea with late medieval, Renaissance, and later Korean garments going by the modern or the European time scale. So, you have to literally, I could spend the whole year going to a museum once a week and still not go to all the museums where they have hanbok collections. Now, the problem is that many of these items, like most museums, are not on display because they don't think that people want to see the kind of corpse-stained clothing from a tomb from 400 years ago. And I will admit that many of these pieces are not in the prettiest shape. They are definitely, they've been affected by their experience as the clothing of a corpse. But
the trauma runs deep.
The trauma runs deep. So those aren't going to be out on display, which is why you have to actually submit an application to view them. And of course, it's very hard to find these applications if your Korean isn't fluent enough to know exactly where to look on their websites. But thankfully, I have Minji, and she can help me with the application process for viewing these garments. So I'm going to try to get a look at all the layers that would have been worn in the 16th, 17th, and 18th century up close and personal, so that I can then examine them for how they are put together, the stitches that are used, the order of operations. Minji is so excited to work with me on this, and she's excited to help with the research part of recreating authentic historical Korean garments, because I don't read Chinese characters. She does. And unfortunately, to understand the documentary side, of historical Korean garments, you really have to be able to read Chinese. There are some things that were written in Hangul, in Korean, using the Korean alphabet. For example, there's a manual on weaving and dyeing, interestingly. But she said even that is very hard to understand because, like Middle English, it's old Korean. It's, early modern, late medieval Korean, so it's not easy to understand.
No shampoo.
So, yeah, working with someone who actually knows all of the documentary side of the equation, because so much of it hasn't been published in English. It's only been published in Korean, and my Korean is definitely not up to the task of researching historical Korean garments. So yeah, that's where we stand. Our first visit was going to be Tuesday to Haeunsa, but that has been canceled because there's no point in driving for an hour and 15 minutes one way if we can't actually see the garments. Hansaw's nice, but right now their trees have probably all dropped their leaves, so it probably just looks dead.
So where are we going instead?
We're going to Gyeongju on Tuesday, everyone, and we will definitely live stream from there because for the first time ever, all 6 pure gold crowns from the Shilla dynasty have been reunited on Korean soil. Specifically, it was for APEC, the conference that just occurred, and the reason that the American presidential collection now involves a gold crown from the Shilla dynasty, or a replica thereof. But there's a special exhibit, first time in over 120 years that these crowns have actually been on Korean soil.
It's not that special to own a replica. We have one.
Yeah, it's not that it's owning a replica is nothing special. We have a small replica that weighs a ton, but it's not pure gold. If it were pure gold, it would not weigh a ton.
Yeah, it would. Gold weighs a lot.
Weighs less than steel does. So,
yeah, a pound of steel and a pound of gold, which would weigh more.
Very funny. It's not about that. They make them thinner when they're pure gold.
I'm joking. Hey, I'm excited to see the crowns.
Yeah, we are excited to see this special exhibit and, of course, to return to Gyeongju, even though it's not going to be nearly as warm as it is today. But for you out there watching, it will look the same. You can't see hot or cold. We can feel it. You can't see it.
It's much warmer today than we were expecting. I've already taken my jacket off and rolled up my sleeves.
Yeah, the sun is definitely providing some nice heat. So this, for those of you who saw the damage from that big flood this summer, this is the same part of the river where they were doing the restoration work. And at this point, you can't really tell, almost can't tell, that the river absolutely raked this clean. Yeah, that little tiny river there, that trickle of water raked this entire thing clean up to road level. How's that for scary? Road level's up there, by the way, just so everyone is clear. We are not at road level. We're below road level by a significant amount. Yeah, so let's see. What else? Oh, now that it is no longer blazing hot because, you know, I left Korea for 6 weeks when it was summer, and now I'm back, so now it's almost winter. We are planning to take you all to Sammun Market live, the traditional market that's here in Daegu. We're going to take you through, specifically focusing on the food, of course, and the crafting materials section. So we show you all the fabrics, the traditional Korean fabrics that you can just buy straight off the bulk there, which you can't do in the US. We'll show you the shops that actually still sell traditional Korean furniture. You can get an idea of what a market looks like here. Of course, unfortunately, I think probably in the next 50 years there won't be any more markets. They'll just be kind of like Pike's Place Market in Seattle. It will be more of a tourist thing, aimed with shops aimed specifically at a tourist population rather than an actual genuine market where people really do their shopping. Most young people want to shop at B-Mart or Lotte World or Hyundai. They don't want to shop at the markets. They want to shop in open, expensive, modern, Western-looking environments. So we'll see. If my prediction comes true, hopefully I'll be around to see whether it comes true or
You
not.
took the awesome out of my comment. Because you had said awesome.
Oh.
Don't worry, the markets are still pretty nice.
The markets now are still fantastic. I just don't think they're going to be... I'm watching the trend on what younger generations of Koreans want and how they shop. I think there won't be many now. The thing I think will exist forever here in Korea are the night market the food night markets, right? Because Koreans love, of all ages, especially young ones, because for the younger Koreans, they can go dating. Lovely public restroom, not related to, I guess that is kind of tangentially related to food, actually. Anyway, the Korean night markets for food I think those will endure forever. because everyone loves going and being part of the hustle bustle and being a series of street food prepared in dubious circumstances. So I think that will be around forever. And when we go to our salmon market tour, we will absolutely show you all of the food stalls. And there are some interesting ones. The offal, not awful, the offal food stalls, where you can get pig and cow offal steamed and served forth piping hot.
It is pretty awful.
It's like, just like ancient Rome or medieval Paris. Fantastic.
Leopard's nostrils. Ocelot toes.
I think ocelot toes would be preferable to the intestines, honestly.
What are we doing this Thursday? Nothing?
Oh, nothing. I'm like, I don't know why. Why Thursday? Oh, I realized why you were asking. Nothing. Since I did all my pie baking on this last Thursday, I have absolved myself of any obligation with regard to the Feast of Thanksgiving as it is celebrated in the United States of America. Mostly because I would be the only one eating. Because the cameraman here doesn't actually like traditional Thanksgiving food.
Most of them are quite disgusting.
Some old
Not a
school
fan.
houses here. God knows how long they'll be around.
Yeah.
So those are generally 2-family homes. One family has an apartment above, one below. Some of them are single-family homes. But those are of an older type that are no longer built. And I don't know how long it will be before they get snapped up by some developer and turned into a high-rise.
Oh. And the further down the, further up the river the construction goes, the fewer creatures we see. What, 3 or 4 years ago we saw a couple of the vampire deer here.
No, that was not 3 or 4 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Was that just 2 years ago?
Just
Wow.
2 years ago. No, they weren't. Those were water deer. They weren't the musk deer. They were the smaller, even smaller.
They're the even smaller ones?
They were the even smaller ones.
You know,
The small-
musk deer are the vampire
No.
deer.
Yes, the musk deer are, but the water deer are not. Water deer are a different deer.
Water deer are the musk deer.
They are not. They're different kinds of water deer. These are not the musk deer. These were cute little. These were cuties. Little cuties.
Boiled or steamed offal is an acquired aroma.
It is.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I was that Takeda or something.
Takeda.
Takeda, I wish that I could transmit smell through these live streams, because it is absolutely 100% present at Salmon Market. And the best part, it's at the main entrance. So when you walk in, you must pass the barrier. You must overcome the challenge of inhaling the smell of steamed and or boiled offal.
You have a request for story time on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's not that I haven't wanted to. I just haven't had the energy for live streaming. I felt like I had some kind of low-grade virus, bacterial infection. I don't know. It just made me want to sleep all day and all night.
So if you look up pictures of the vampire deer, they actually have fangs.
They have tusks.
Little
They're
tusks.
technically tusks, but they do look like fangs.
But they do look like
If
fangs.
you look musk deer, M-U-S-K, look up musk deer. You will see what we're talking about.
They are adorable.
And they are an endangered species because, of course, the names should say it all. They were hunted for their musk glands
And
for perfume. But the DMZ has proven a valuable safe haven for them. And they've also discovered that on the large American military installations here in Korea, they are safe.
yeah, so Camp Humphreys has a large stock of them.
Yeah, USAG Humphreys.
Jamie Brady says, how are you?
Jamie, welcome to Daegu, South Korea.
They do have cute little
We are here on Shincheon enjoying a lovely morning walk in a wonderfully warm autumn day, catching the last of the foliage, and I do mean the very last of the foliage before everything drops the leaves and turns a sad shaded brown.
Do you want to walk on the grass and we'll walk by the
Yeah.
river? So when I was a company commander here, Jamie Brady is from Australia.
Ooh.
So it's summer, getting into summer there.
Oh yeah, right. You're in late spring.
So when I was a company commander in Korea, I used to pick up all my brand new soldiers, new, young, dumb kids. And I would get them in the car and I'd point out about the vampire deer. And I tell them that they're not actually deer. They're, actually carnivores, a different species that just look like deer to fool you. That you got to be careful, because if you see one, that means there's others that are hiding, about to pounce out and attack you.
Like velociraptors. It's the two from the sides that you never see.
Yeah. And the my Korean workers would always be like, "Oh yeah, very dangerous." Very dangerous.
Poor baby soldiers bought it hook, line, and sinker every time.
Yep. There was one time we were walking along the fence line inside the base, and we came across one that we thought may have been hit by a car, so we were all very sad. But it turns out that it just ran itself to exhaustion and was lying down next to the fence.
It was by the sidewalk, by the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we were walking.
Yeah. I pet
And
the deer.
we definitely did not touch the endangered deer.
Nope, not at all.
Nope. It was definitely not adorably soft. Yes, we are technically from America, and we're tourists in South Korea right now. Technically.
With a vacation rental that happens to have some kitties living in it. But that's a coincidence. We are hoping to set up more permanently here. Stay tuned for news developments of that sort.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping to get down to Australia. Like multiple parts of it, because Australia's tiny and
Well,
easy to visit all the four corners.
It's like America. One coast to the other is a 5 or 6 hour flight. Like the United States. Yeah, so if any of you have any questions about traveling in Korea, about living in Korea, traveling to or from Korea, feel free to drop them in. I just checked flight prices this morning for a friend from Germany, actually, for the spring, because spring and autumn a little bit earlier than this, when the leaves are still up, are the two best times to be here. In the spring, you've got stunning blossoms. I mean, really beautiful.
Australia is bigger than the UK.
Well, that is true. I think Sydney is bigger than the UK.
The inhabitable portions, or the whole thing altogether? I'm
anyway,
joking. No, we know Australia is bloody huge.
Yeah, no, Australia is crazy huge. It's like the United States, like I said.
Yeah.
Multiple time zones and a crazy long flight coast to coast, which makes it annoying when you have shitty airlines that operate from coast to coast like we do in the US. Anyway.
The whole thing, yeah.
Flights now from Germany to Korea in the spring are running, if you come in March, 500 euros round trip. If you come in like March, going back in April, i.e. to catch blossoms, cherry blossoms, then it's about 615 to 670 euros on reputable airlines.
Said the Sydney Opera House is bigger than the UK.
Yeah, that's true.
We haven't seen any kitties yet today.
No, it has been a remarkably kitty-free day, which is unusual because it's warm out and the sun's out. I would have expected to see some sunbathers by now. And the kitties along here are well cared for.
North Korea has a lot of problems.
Yeah, so in case anyone is wondering, we are not talking about North Korea. We're never talking about North Korea. Americans do not go to North Korea for a very good reason. Most people should not go to North Korea for a very good reason. I know we met some people on our last cruise who had actually taken a guided tour to North Korea. Guided is a very gentle word for what it was. It was monitored, surveilled, closely managed.
I still want to go up to Panmunjom and step across.
Yeah, right.
That's
not what they did. They actually went into North Korea.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
And they said it was very interesting to see just what I knew, but apparently they didn't, how undeveloped North Korea still is.
Big bird.
Beautiful cranes floating in the morning breeze. Ooh, and another one. We get an encore.
Oh, yeah. Blue heron there. What kind of shops? There's tons and tons and tons of shops in South Korea.
Okay, so
yeah, there's
a shop for every need you could possibly have. A lot of shops are still highly specialized. So there's a pipe shop, which is different from the hardware store, which is different from the cabinet making store.
Never hear them.
But there's actually, what I really like is that there's an increasing number of shops selling handmade items by local artisans instead of, tchotchke made in countries that rely on slave labor. So that is definitely on the increase. You've got market, you have fabric stores, you have stores selling crafting supplies. There are shops that specialize in traditional Korean clothing and hanbok. There are secondhand shops are very interesting here. The antique shops that are just a little too grungy to be the nice antique shops, they always have interesting things. Now, the antique stores that are nice and look like museums, they have interesting things too, but not of a price that is affordable by most people.
Are there hanbok patterns?
There are hanbok patterns, although not in the way you might think. So not the kind where you have big paper cutouts. There are books that provide measurement charts and tell you how to apply the measurements from your body onto, to draft your own pattern, basically, because for the most part, it's just geometric, and entirely, it's geometric construction. So it's just a question of getting the ratios of the pieces right to fit your body. I haven't actually seen hanbok patterns that are, of the McCall type, where you have the giant paper full size that can then be cut out. Yeah, modern apartment buildings, the sharp. Yeah, I don't know.
We're kind of on the far, what is this?
One
the
of
north,
the extremities.
the north,
This is the north extremity.
extremity of the city. So we're actually almost out of town and into the next little, I don't know what you would call this outskirt down here, but
it's technically still Daegu, the outskirt down here. I'd say that's the last gasp of the city, and then beyond that is country, really.
then it's country and a little zoo, which is adorable.
There's a nature park that's really fun. There's beautiful cafes out in the countryside because city folk have learned that the countryside is beautiful. And so there are lots of really lovely cafes that have gorgeous mountain views just outside the city. You can take a bus to them or you can drive, but there's no good way to walk to them.
Since that I almost would prefer to go to multiple stores for things like crafting materials and
Yeah,
such.
we prefer it, honestly. It also means if you have multiple stores for the same kind of item, then you can actually comparatively shop.
Let's see here. So technically, where are we in relation? Yeah, up that direction someplace is a temple.
There's like 4.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. We are not going to go up there.
Nope.
My ankle hurts and I have things to do today.
It's straight up. Also, apparently the gods who inhabit the mountains don't particularly like cell phone reception, so they kind of foul it, as we've discovered the hard way when trying to live stream going up the mountain.
And is South Korea crowded? Parts of South Korea are incredibly crowded.
But not like Tokyo.
But if you go to like Seoul, it's
Gangnam. If you go to Gangnam or Myeongdok there's certain neighborhoods, but specifically at specific times of day.
Yeah.
Right? If you just go out in the middle of the day, most places are not going to feel particularly crowded. At night, when everyone goes out and hits the restaurants and the bars and the nighttime street food vendors, that's when it starts to feel really crowded in very specific popular neighborhoods. But I would say that on the whole, as far as big cities go, it doesn't feel particularly crowded. We were just in Istanbul. That felt crowded.
Yeah, Istanbul
Holy
felt
shit.
very crowded.
Istanbul triggered claustrophobia in me every other minute. I was, oh my God. Yeah, that was crazy.
And then there's places in South Korea that are remarkably not crowded at all.
Yeah, the mountains are not particularly crowded. Although if you go on a popular hiking trail, the trail will definitely be crowded. But there's plenty of unfrequented hiking trails. You just have to avoid the ones that have parking lots for tour buses.
And the nice thing about like this path is there's always people on it. It's always being used. Like you can see the bikers coming at us now. But it never feels too crowded,
No,
even in the
never.
height of summer.
Never. No. So yeah, yeah. If you go to the northeast of Korea, it's very, very underoccupied.
Bungee jumping. I haven't seen any place around here to do that. I know there are places.
I think that may have actually kind of fallen out of fashion because of all the accidents that kept happening. I think there turned out to be some safety issues with the bungees, and the cost of replacing them as often as they actually need replacing has made it so it's died out as a trend. Oh, look at the beautiful heron.
And that was from Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Yeah, there isn't bungee jump. Now what there is here, zip lines. Zip lines are very popular in many parts of Korea. You can do zip lining. And sometimes really long zip lining from a very high point.
Are you Irish?
No.
No.
We are both American.
We are both American.
The reason I'm not in front of the camera is because we forgot our microphones at home. So for you to hear me, I have to be near the camera. It's kind of annoying. I'm sorry, everyone. And that's the cameraman, the other voice behind. Let's see, other fun activities that are adventuresome. Biking. You can rent bikes here. There's a lot of biking.
Tons of good hiking.
Yeah, lots of really good hiking. You can, of course, in the beach areas, you can rent kayaks and go sea kayaking. There are even places where you can learn surfing.
I'm not good at judging accents. Worst talent of mine.
That's fine. My accent is not exactly pure American.
My accent is definitely not either, because I've moved every 2 years of my life.
I lived in Germany for 12 years, and in the last 25 years, I've only spent 3 of them in the United States. So my accent has migrated to somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. Tip for Korea: if you are a breakfast person, breakfast restaurants are not a thing in most of Korea. In certain more cosmopolitan places, i.e., and by cosmopolitan I mean influenced by Western culture, you can actually find some nice brunch restaurants, but they still won't open until 10 or later. So if you're a breakfast first thing in the morning person and you're not staying at a hotel that offers breakfast, you should prepare the night before by purchasing some, snacks or kimbap from the convenience store. You keep it in your little fridge.
And they were going to guess German.
That's funny. No. Well, I did live in Germany for 12 years, so that's funny. Nope, not German. Although it is my second most fluent language.
I was actually born in England.
Ooh. Up here, the water's all nice and full.
Yeah, over there, those reeds is an otter habitat, evidently, in which we've never seen otters.
Apparently the otters have not gotten the message that they should move into this beautiful otter habitat that was built for them. Sadly. Or the sadder option, maybe they actually did introduce otters to it and then they ended up moving out and then getting hit by cars because they tried to go to other parts of the city. That happened to one of the river otters here a couple of years ago. Very sad. Poor thing. So if you're a breakfast person and you come to Korea, absolutely make plans to supply your own breakfast and also your own coffee, because cafes do not open early here at all.
It's the teeny tiny duck thing.
It's a diving duck. We don't know what we did look up what
we
they
did
were
look it up once, but I've forgotten.
Reese?
So Aaron, are you from the Himalayas? So better than my Himalayan accent.
Oh wow, that's pretty. I mean, a Himalayan accent is fairly rare. Are you actually from? Yeah, are you from any of the Himalaya mountains? Tibet or Nepal, Bhutan, one of the other Himalayan
Indian Himalayas.
Indian Himalayas. Got it.
Very neat.
Now, I actually have a friend who lives in the northwest of India, in the foothills, not in the actual mountains themselves, but I'm excited to go and visit her next year at some point because that part of India is relatively underpopulated and has mild weather. I mean, I grew up in super hot and humid, but I don't necessarily want to be hot and humid all the time when I'm traveling.
I'm actually getting hungry.
Oh, good.
There's another one of the tiny little birdies. We see these little tiny ducks. No idea what they are. We've looked it up once.
Yeah, we call them little mini diving ducks because they look like tiny ducks and they dive.
Do you remember the place name for?
No, I don't remember which province she said she lived in.
Me neither.
Yeah.
We don't remember.
I'll reach out to her and have her remind me. I'll have the information in the next live stream. But it's
Starbucks. I think we're going to go for lunch, actually, someplace.
Yeah, Starbucks doesn't open until 9 or 10 here either. The cafes are just not early morning places. Now, if you're at a Korean bed and breakfast, and I do recommend that you stay at a Hanok if you can, a Hanok bed and breakfast. Hanok are the traditional Korean buildings here. And many places now have them as a bed and breakfast option. There, if you have a good one, you'll be served a traditional Korean breakfast of some kind of jjigae, some kind of soup, maybe tofu, maybe kimchi, maybe a porridge, like an abalone porridge. You might also get bibimbap, and then you'll get all the banchan with it, and of course steamed rice. It makes for a really nice start to the day, actually. You feel really clean after eating that way, instead of laden and heavy and ready to go back to sleep.
It's about 11:40 here.
It's about 11:40 here, a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday.
23rd?
I don't know. Well, shall we head back towards food?
Someone's getting hungry.
I am getting hungry.
Okay, so now you get to see the mountains in the other direction, and actually because we're no longer walking into the sun, you might see them. If you look at a map of Daegu, and you look specifically in the mountainous areas, you're going to see all these little symbols for Buddhist temples, which you might mistake for a certain symbol of a certain failed fascist dictatorship from the first half of the 20th century. But you would be wrong. That is actually the original use of that symbol. So it stands for a Buddhist temple.
And a pharmacy.
Stands for pharmacies here?
Yeah. I think it's like originally a charm about good health and all.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be a symbol of peace and prosperity and all sorts of goodness.
Hey,
There is someone flying a flag from the center of the river.
What?
There's a flag, not a flag, a kite. They're flying a kite.
Oh, it's a good spot to do it here.
It is, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. When are you going back to America? Well, I'm going to try and fly back on the 9th of December at this point. We're not sure about when Rachel might be going back.
Someone hires me to lead medieval dancing or teach a medieval workshop in the United States, I will go back. Otherwise, honestly, I'll be happy if the next time I go back isn't until August when Penzing happens.
And no, my ankle and knee are not taped. They probably should have something done to them, but well. And Aaron says, if you visit India, then go for the Northeast too. It's beautiful. We definitely want to try it. Wait, honestly, we just want to go everywhere.
Yeah. Our lives are a little tenuous at the moment. We don't plan very far in advance because of the tenuosity of our situation. But yeah, the northern parts of India are particularly appealing to me from what I've seen from pictures and documentaries. The place where our friend lives is actually one of the places that was built by, well, obviously there were people there, but the Brits, when they colonized, they came in, and because it was very much like the British climate, they actually built these British-style villages. And she said that's why when she went to Europe, because she was working on the cruise ship, she went to Europe and was surprised to see how much like home it looked, because she grew up in these European-style neighborhoods. And that idea is very interesting to me
There he
from a
goes.
history perspective. Duck, such a cutie.
You're like, no. Stay
And of course,
away.
we love Indian cuisine from all parts of India.
Yeah.
North, south, east, west, central. From the 16th century. I actually, for those who don't know, one of my other lives is medieval living history, and food being particularly important to me. I have actually investigated historical Indian cuisine pre-Columbian exchange. You know, dishes from the Mughal court. Some really yummy stuff there. It's fascinating how much Indian cuisine has changed as a result of the introduction of many vegetables from the New World. Potatoes, peppers, corn, none of that was originally anywhere in Asia, let alone key to their cuisines. And yet now it's hard for most people to imagine a curry without a spice level high enough to peel paint.
Yes, Susan, that is absolutely the goal, to spend time with family. Ooh, fishies.
My goal is to convince family to come visit me instead.
Yeah.
I'm tired of going back to the U.S. to visit them.
Are you listening, family? Okay,
yeah.
all right. These ones are long. Northeast is more secure. There are even many provinces where even Indian need a permit visa to enter. Interesting.
Wow.
North and Northeast are actually pull apart, totally different. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, to be honest, as the more I travel, the more I've come to the conclusion that the regional variety, the regional variations in language, food, even traditions can be massive, even in a relatively small place like Germany. Then you get to a large place like India, and the variations in traditions and cuisine and clothing must be absolutely immense, honestly. Of course, many of those traditions across the world are slowly homogenizing into a sadly undifferentiated
Thank you,
cultural
TV.
offering. But here's hoping that more young people take interest in their history and culture and seek to preserve it, at least in specific parts of their lives.
When you visit India, your channel will grow like wow.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing.
Right, so this is publicly accessible, and we can actually pop in and show them. This is a picnic pavilion, and these are built all along the river, and they are specifically here for everyone to be able to enjoy.
They can't hear you from there.
And in the winter, they actually put these cases around them so that on the inside it's quite pleasant. Now these are mostly a shoe-free area, so you're supposed to take your shoes off and keep them clean, because of course floor seating is a thing in Korea, and also people will take naps here. I see ladies and gentlemen out here playing games, cards or board games. There's even a nice little lending library. They provide equipment for people to help keep it clean, sweep up after you've eaten, and believe it or not, people do that here. They actually take care of these publicly accessible facilities.
And it's echoing inside, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan, and this is Rachel. Say hi, Rachel.
I'm Rachel. I'm the Contessa.
Limpaway says hi. Leo Limpaway.
Welcome. Also, this is the reminder I haven't yet given. If you're enjoying this travel live stream and would like to come with me on more of my travel adventures, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oop, here's a great thing about Korea too.
Public
Bathrooms
restrooms,
everywhere.
They're
Free.
clean and they're maintained, and they have toilet paper and toilet seats.
Look, all the great things in a row. And exercise equipment, just kind of.
Public outdoor exercise equipment, which is also maintained and in good working order, and people use it heavily. In fact, I'm shocked there aren't more people out today.
Limpaway was in Korea just last month. What part of Korea? And Rachel, yes, Rachel.
I'm also known as the Creative Contessa. That's my medieval living history handle, because I also do medieval living history. And when I spun off the travel channel, it just made sense to keep building on the brand. Hence the name of the channel, Travels with the Contessa. Even though that triggers some people. Apparently there's some very anti-aristocratic types out there.
Aaron said, quite lucky you've got toilet paper there. We don't have that in India.
Yeah. Aaron, they don't have that necessarily in Europe either.
And in some bathrooms in Korea, you have to bring your own.
Yeah.
I have it in my bag just in case.
Fewer and fewer.
Fewer and fewer.
Yeah, that's an old, you're in an old part of Korea.
So Limpaway was in Seoul, Suwon, and Busan. All great places. Did you get to go to the medieval walls in Suwon? It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, did you hike the walls?
It's a lovely,
well, the ones that are there are
hike?
18th century technically, but
yeah,
they follow the old path. Yeah, the walls. For those who don't know, Suwon in Korea is, everyone gets wrapped up in Seoul and Busan, but not as many foreign tourists actually go to Suwon. But Suwon had a palace, actually a royal palace.
Hwasong Fortress.
Yeah, Hwasong, which means fortress. That just means fortress.
Yeah, but I mean, in English we call it Hwasong Fortress because it's like calling the Avon River the Avon River because it's river.
River. Yeah. Anyway, Suwon has the Hwasong, which means fortress, but it's actually basically more like the Great Wall on a much smaller scale because it's the walls that stretch around the whole city and encompass the royal palace that was built there because there were royal tombs out there, and so when they were actually conducting ancestral rites, the royal family would go to this palace and stay there while they conducted their ancestral rites. So the palace has been rebuilt, the walls have been rebuilt. You can actually see palace ceremonies happening there, and there's way fewer tourists than there are at Gyeongbokgung in Seoul. So Suwon is definitely a tip, and you can get there by train. The KTX goes to Suwon. You can even, if you're athletic, somewhat mildly in shape, you can walk from the train station to the walls.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not the nicest walk because
my
Suwon
70-year-old
is not the
father did
prettiest
it.
city. Yeah, but then you took him up those stairs, and I thought he was going to kill you. There's stairs. In case you're wondering, Korean mountains involve stairs. They don't believe in switchbacks. Switchbacks waste time. Why build a switchback if you can just build stairs straight to the top?
Yeah. So we're in Daegu. On the Shincheon. Where is this?
Okay.
Where are we?
Where are we? We are in Daegu, South Korea. We are walking the river walk next to Shincheon, which literally means new creek, new river. New creek. Cheon is more of a creek than a river. A gang is a river, really. Anyway, we're actually in the north extremity. So even though it's beautiful and mountainous here to our left, to our right is literal civilization, which is one of the things we love about Korean cities in general. For the most part, you can walk to the mountain from wherever you live. There's a mountain within walking distance.
Yeah, I hate autocorrect too. Susan said, Susan sounds enchanting. Then she went, Suk, not Suwon. Damn it.
Yeah, it's frustrating when the autocorrect decides that the word you've entered is not a real word. And look, already another restroom.
Oh yeah, right there. Maybe they're from Daejeon.
These newer restrooms have music playing in them, classical music, to really enhance your experience. It's so nice to walk into a restroom and not smell fermented urine. I can always tell I'm back in the US when I go to a public restroom because invariably that's how it smells.
Aaron says they have a friend from Central Korea, a province that starts with like the letter D. Maybe Daejeon? That's kind of central.
Daejeon is a city.
I thought Daejeon was in a Daejeon province.
No, huh? Daejeon is
Daegu a province?
Well, Daegu is its own kind of. I mean, it's a
could be
city
Daegu.
State. Yeah, it could be from Daegu.
It is very central.
I mean,
kind of south central. Ooh, we're south central.
We are. But the word do means province, so it comes at the end of all of them.
Gyeonggi-do.
Yeah, Gyeonggi-do.
Well, you said it starts with a D.
It starts with a D.
I don't know my Korean provinces well enough to be able to say.
I'm going through. The D one isn't coming to mind. Suncheon. Oh, mountains are looking so pretty this morning.
Alright, let's show them again. Yep, lots of people exercising.
Oh, yeah. In the summer, with some of you, I told some of you this summer, it gets so hot here that people actually come in the middle of the night to take their walks and get their exercise here on the river, and then they stay inside during the day because it is very hot and very humid. For those in the metric scale, frequently we experience temperatures 35 to 40 degrees with 90% humidity. For those of you on the old imperial scale, we're talking 90s to low hundreds with 90% humidity.
That's right. He's from Daejeon.
Yeah.
And they're currently on their army training.
Daejeon. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a big base in Korean base in Daejeon. That's where Hyunji's son lives.
Oh.
He's stationed. Oh, the dogs here. So Koreans have decided that they love having dogs, but we all live in apartments here, which means that they have to take their dogs out for walks, which means if their dogs don't get out for regular walks, their dogs become corpulent. And you will see a lot of corpulent dogs, and nearly always there's a correlation between corpulence of canine and age of owner. The older the owner, the more corpulent the dog.
Oh, you remember little Fatty?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Gordito. El Gordito and Cari.
When I was looking at the cat food, I was trying to use the auto-translate, and then on one of them, it's got a picture of a cat, and on top of it, it just translated to fat. I'm like, what? Fat cat.
Fat cat. Just what you want your cat to be, fat and unhealthy.
Oh, wait, okay. Is it not enough cold there, or maybe lift?
It is not cold. It is currently 15 degrees centigrade, or
It will get cold, though.
yeah, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But
Oh, yeah, they clean up after their dogs.
Oh yes, and people definitely clean up after their dogs here. In fact, if they don't, they are given very dirty looks, which is the extent of Korean scolding. Anyway, yeah, it will get cold here in the winter, but Daegu is in the south, and the south is a hot box. So we actually don't experience the extremity of temperatures that they do up in the northern part of South Korea. So Seoul, it gets crazy cold. Well, crazy cold. I mean, if you're from Duluth, Minnesota, you probably won't blink an eye. But for normal humans, it can get into, minus 10, minus 20 degrees as a high centigrade up in Seoul.
Aaron has a mountain dog. Some call them, has husky genes.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, Aaron. Aaron, do you live in a village or in a town, or are you sort of out in the country, as out in the country as you can get in the mountains, which I guess is most places? Yeah, the dog size here is definitely appropriate generally for the size of residents. We don't see too many large dogs.
City side. City.
Nice.
City. Yeah, most of the dogs here are tiny. That's a very large dog.
That's
for Koreans.
The Korean ladies, of course, particularly love their purse dogs because then they can put them in their Prada purses or their Brada purses if it's
Brada.
a knockoff.
Canadians are used to cold too.
Yeah, the Canadians are very used to cold. That's why I said it. It depends on where you're from. But
I just don't like the cold that much, personally.
The majority of the native English-speaking world does not live in extreme cold places. They just don't. Whereas the northern part of Korea, it can get pretty bitter. And it's dry. It's so dry your nose will bleed. You actually have to humidify. In fact, we need to find our humidifier and set it up. You really need to humidify your home in the winter.
-3 for where Aaron is right now.
Yeah, see, that's...
At least I think that's a negative. Yep, -3.
-3 centigrade or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Okay. That's not great, but it could be worse. The -3 could mean worse things.
When I was stationed up north here in Korea, I was riding my bike in the middle of the night for checks, and my face mask froze solid. It was crazy. Thankfully, Daegu doesn't get that cold.
No,
generally.
it really, I mean, we barely get any snow. When we do, it's a thing of wonder and also a chaos-inducing factor for the city because no one here knows how to drive in snow.
Like Aussie people in New Zealand, they don't even know what real winter is.
Yeah, no, not really. Not here. It's, I mean, we have had some cold snaps where it was -5 as a high for a couple of days in a row, and the whole city thought it was, the end times. That doesn't mean it's pleasant when it's, +5 centigrade and windy, but it could be worse.
So I can't actually see the screen half the time right now. Okay, yeah, no new messages. Oop, ow.
Yeah, we have a lot of sunlight this morning. So this is generally what Korea is like all winter. It is bright and sunny. It doesn't rain, and it barely ever snows, and it barely gets cloudy. So if you are one of those people who suffers from SAD, you will be fine in Korea. Plenty of sun.
It weirdly sounded like the parrots.
It did sound a little bit like the parrots.
I can't see them.
You almost stumbled over those.
I did. It should be right there.
Yeah, not quite though. I don't think they are the parrots. I think they would leave. Although they're parrots in Wiesbaden in Germany, so they stay the whole year.
Yeah. Remember, Susan, I was just down in Mississippi. I don't think anyone down there knows how to drive, period. Not just in the snow.
Snow, rain, sun. Yeah, so a lot of people have this image, to the road, imagining Korea as being packed with people on bicycles, like the old, like China used to be 40, 50 years ago. And that did used to be Korea at one point, but it hasn't been that way for decades. These people can now afford cars, and they want to make sure everyone can see that they can afford cars, and they drive them everywhere, even when there's better public transit options. Like seriously, here in Daegu, and in Seoul, in Daejeon, in Busan, it is 90% of the time faster to take the metro. Absolutely. Just no questions asked. And yet, they will intentionally drive places just because they don't want to ride the metro. And they want to show their beautiful Mercedes or their Volvo.
Said it's been cloudy where he is for a week.
Right, yeah, no, that doesn't
in the Himalayas.
happen
Yep, no long-term cloudiness, really.
We are entering what I call the cold, sunny season.
As opposed to the warm, sunny season.
Right.
Or the mild, sunny season. It's all the sunny season.
There is a rainy season, at least there used to be.
Interesting.
It's a tour.
Yeah. Ooh, now you'll get to see some of the town.
Oh yeah, we're going to go up here onto the street, and I'll give you some street view of the somewhat but not so redeveloped part of Daegu.
I love fog. I don't like to drive in the fog though, Susan.
Yeah, I mean, I love rain and I love fog and I love snow. Driving in any of those is not fun. Oh, there's a rare example of a Korean church that looks like a church instead of like a convention center.
Or some other scary thing. That giant... when you were in Suwon, did you see the scary giant Gothic-looking cathedral church thing?
Like out of some kind of futuristic dystopian graphic novel. It's very, very visible from the walls. All the walls.
Wow. It's really cold where you are, Aaron. It says springtime temp reaches 5 Celsius. In summer it's 12 or 15 max.
Yep.
12 or 15 max. Woo.
Well, if you want to warm up, Korea is definitely the place in the summer.
Yeah. Agreed, Susan.
What did Susan say?
She doesn't like driving in it either.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ooh, there's a police bus. Wonder if there's a
demonstration somewhere?
demonstration somewhere, or are they just doing an exercise? It's crazy. When I was in Korea the first time, I was walking through downtown Daegu trying to find a dance place. And I come around the corner and like 300 cops go streaming by me in full riot gear. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Because, I've been in Korea for not all that long at this point. And it was just, practice. It was crazy.
So, speaking of driving in Korea, take a look at this parking lot. Right, so you'll notice that there's a row of cars that is clearly blocking all the cars from getting out, basically. And that is okay because they actually have phone numbers in the front on the dashboard. And when other people need them to move, they will just call them and the driver will come and move their car. No questions asked.
Aaron said you need a snow chopper because the snow is pretty dense to drive there. Yeah, lots of Hyundai cars. Go figure. See, and now we're off the river and into the city.
Well, there's a chill breeze. No longer in full sun.
Oh, thank goodness. That was very warm. Da, 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 da. That building's new, I believe.
Yeah, so actually side by side, the two buildings, this building and then the building next to it as we walk by, you'll be able to see the difference between New Korea, here right across the street, and to the left of it, slightly older Korea. Korea is redeveloping rapidly. Yeah, so this was probably built in the 90s.
In the late 1900s.
The 1990s. The late 1900s, yeah. And this street was half this size until 2 months ago. When they finished completely redeveloping this whole neighborhood to have proper sidewalks and wide roads. Of course, you can never build roads big enough, long enough, wide enough to actually accommodate the growth of car traffic. You need to discourage car traffic and provide other options like trains and metros and trams. But, no one learns that
They do
lesson.
here. No, Korea's doing a good job.
Daegu, is it?
Daegu's got 2 new lines coming in.
There should be some trams here instead of more road. Light rail for the win.
Okay, you gotta get on the other side. You keep hitting me with the umbrella. Where are we going to eat? Post-on place?
You want to go to the post office?
That sounds good.
Okay, we're going to go to one of our favorite little Korean diners, but diner in the sense of what is a diner in Korea, not what is a diner in the U.S. It's a casual dining establishment, I think is what they call them now. And they specialize in buckwheat noodles in soy milk, which is tastier than it sounds, and they also have posam, which is braised pork belly, and with your posam you can have an add-on of dolsot bibimbap, which is a hot stone pot bibimbap in which everything is served, the rice with the lovely little vegetable toppings, and your meat and egg are served in a hot enough to take your skin off.
I know, because I tried.
Because he tried, yeah.
Heard.
And then you have that as an accompaniment to your posam, and I like to put my posam in the hot pot bibimbap, and then the fat from the skin of the pork belly melts into the bibimbap, and it's super yummy. So
Takeda says he's glad it's casual. He doesn't want to change.
Yeah, you'll be fine, Takeda. However you're dressed, literally, I've seen women walk in Prada sweatpants and flip-flops. Granted, Prada sweatpants, so, you know. Or Brada, if they were the knockoff. So over here to our left is a little amusement park that has been here for decades. Is certainly of questionable structural integrity.
It just makes me think of the place where the evil clowns live while they're biding their time.
Oh, and the killer clowns from outer space?
Yeah.
Great movie. And then over here, we have yet another mountain hiking area that's just out here, and these paths are all really well maintained.
Susan says, Rachel, you're torturing me. I ate over an hour ago and the food you mentioned makes my mouth water. Takeda said, I know, she's really good at that. So true, Takeda and Susan.
Well, I think we might try to continue the live stream, at least to the point where the food is served, so you can see what the experience is like. And we can demonstrate our patented technique for eating dalsat bibimbap.
You mean me pouring my soup in and scaring the server?
Yeah.
Whichever way you want to go, love. I know you don't like the other way as much. Look. Air. So you can clean your feet and stuff. And
yep. They provide pre-pressurized air so you can power clean your shoes after you walk on this dirt track so you don't get your car dirty or whatever, wherever you're going next.
And some people actually come out here and do barefoot walking.
Yeah, lots of people barefoot walk here.
What was that? That would have been funny if it had been on the other side on the camera.
Oh,
that was a massive insect.
And they do barefoot walking in the dead of winter here. These Koreans are tough. And it's not the young ones doing the barefooting in winter. So these are all cherry trees that you see ahead of you. And the prime foliage would have been about a month ago, but I wasn't here to take you with me on this walking with you. So in the spring, of course, there will be stunning cherry blossoms. And then in the summer, it will be a beautiful green arbor.
And swan boats. Or duck boats.
So, yeah, they're checking out. I kind of decided they were ducks because they're not very swan-like, but they're not here right now. This is a really popular place to come on dates because there are lights that illuminate everything in the most romantic fashion you can imagine. Lots of young Koreans come here, pretend that they're in an American movie.
Yeah. The place we're gonna go eat is on the other side of the river, over there.
So this
or
is,
lake.
This
lake,
is a,
not a river.
yeah, this is a reservoir technically, and it's been here for decades and decades. And it was only starting in the 80s that they developed it for tourism, and then that caused the rest of the city to spring up around it. But 50 years ago, this was nothing but rice paddies.
Ooh, I'll have to look her up, Aaron. She says Rachel actually looks like one of the Indian actresses named Nora Fatehi. She is pretty indeed.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I'll take that compliment.
Oh, look at this red one up
that,
here.
Look at that Japanese, or that maple. The Korean maple because it's in Korea, not Japan.
Don't they call it the rainbow maple here?
Oh, yeah, they call these rainbow trees in Korea. Yeah, this maple here with its fine, fetching, lacy foliage. Yeah, those are called rainbow trees in Korean, is one of the common names for them. You can see why. This one, you can see there's still green on the inside, and then it turns to yellow, and then to that stunning red. One of my favorite trees in the world. Actually, I think it is my favorite tree in the world.
And then there's a ginkgo tree right there, the nice gold. Lovely. You gotta be on the other side, love.
Yeah, we're not at pink ginkgo season. Ginkgos peaked 2 weeks ago, I think. So we're at the tail end of their loveliness.
We were at the Starbucks downtown, and there's a sign under their ginkgo trees. Attention, how to use the area. Do not sit under the trees. Things will fall on you.
And as we read the sign, some
Something
ginkgo berries fell down and hit the table. Like, oh, I see. They're not wrong. For those who don't know, ginkgo berries are some of the most fetid smelling things ever. Oh, thank you for joining us, Aaron. I hope to see you in future streams.
Like and subscribe done. Thank you, Aaron.
Awesome. Appreciate you.
They have to go walk their dog.
Oh, right. Get it. Ooh, more ginkgo, or more beautiful maple tree. The nice thing about the maples is that they stay foliate longer. Yeah, they retain their beautiful leaves for much longer than the other trees. So even when everything else is so depressing that you give up hope, this beautiful lacy maple will appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, Takeda said it's nice to have those sprayers. Keeps the sand off the buses and public transport.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bus stop right
and
next,
more
to
bathrooms.
next to the sprayers. So yeah, exactly. And yes, more bathrooms, public restrooms. Yeah, it's quite pleasant today. Now, in the evening, there will be performers hired professionally by the district of Susong that are performing all around the lake, a variety of kinds of musical and vocal performances. So they really invest a lot into making this a nice festive space for everyone. And once a month they have a handcraft market right here.
Well, I actually thought it was every Sunday, but I don't see it today, so...
Yeah, I think it must be once a month. As the day progresses, you will notice more and more families coming out with their children. It's lovely to see. Oh, here we have a barefooter.
So Indora, say hello to Indora.
Indora, welcome to Korea.
Is this Korea?
It is Korea. This is Daegu. We are in Daegu. We are in Susong-gu. We are walking around Susong Lake. And slowly families are coming out to join us with their children. And no doubt we'll be going to the variety of restaurants past which we will be walking. On this side of the river reservoir, it's mostly cafes. There's a few restaurants, but mostly cafes. On the other side is where all the restaurants.
And there's a really fun buffet place up there at the top of the hill.
What we call the Susong Hotel has a premium buffet. And Korea has absolutely mastered the art of premium buffet, let me tell you. They are not inexpensive though. Premium is the word. So this one, Susong Hotel's premium buffet, is about $50 a person on weekends. It is all you can eat, and they have top quality items like real quality sashimi and sushi, lamb chops.
You sound like a polyglot, are you?
I am a polyglot, yes. I am indeed. Actually, in my past life, I was a professional translator. Let's go out onto the...
We should.
In my past life, I was a professional translator. But unfortunately, ChatGPT and Google Translate, etc., have killed my career. So now I've moved on to other projects. I briefly did a stint as a professional editor, and the same thing happened. So.
Yeah, they don't really do movie posters out and about here in Korea. At least I've never noticed them, Susan.
No, the only place you see movie posters are at the movies.
Ready?
Yeah.
Big fish.
Can they see the big fish? Can you all see the giant fish? These are koi. Basically, they're carp. And they are clearly expecting nibbles.
I've seen turtles in here before.
Oh yeah, we've seen turtles and frogs and the ugly geese that are so ugly they're pretty.
Yep.
And of course normally there's cranes in these trees, but I don't see any.
Yeah, usually there's tons. Oh, we have a performer already.
We have a busker. Could be just out here practicing to build his nerve up in front of an audience. Well, he's filming himself.
That would do.
great way to build your confidence. Just come out here and perform in front of random people. Sorry. There is something really elegant about the super tall skyscrapers that they just built against that beautiful tree backdrop. You know, it looks like there's nothing else there but those skyscrapers, which is of course not true. There's a ton of buildings there. But it's an interesting visual anyway.
Yeah, the river is way, way, way over there. Okay.
Now, coffee has taken Korea by storm, for those who don't know. It is historically a tea culture, of course, thanks to
Starbucks.
Buddhism.
Let's see here. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Adia. I can't read what the British one is there, but I think it's...
That's a bread cafe.
Oh, that's right. It's
coffee.
the bread.
So
Oh, Britton Henge. That's right.
Britton Henge. It's a cafe.
But then there's this,
more cafes.
whatever, Pocket?
Yeah, pocket.
Pocket. That's right. Pocket Cafe.
Pocket cafe.
And then the GS25 where you can get coffee.
Yeah, so Korea has divorced itself mostly from its tea culture. There are some pockets where you can still experience traditional Korean tea, but it's much easier to find coffee here than quality tea. Real, and tea as in cha, actual Camellia sinensis, not fruit whatever with, you know, hot water added to it. Not a tisane, not an herbal tea.
Or their interesting grapefruit tea thing.
Right, it's, yeah.
The gel that they put into the water.
The grapefruit, the candied grapefruit, candied lemon, candied citrus. Which could be healthy if it didn't contain 1,000 grams of sugar per tablespoon.
Like, honestly, I don't know how it holds all that sugar.
Which is remarkable. It's like super saturated somehow. Paul Bassett, which I don't know if that's a thing outside of Korea, but it's very trendy here now. Taking the children for a walk. One thing that's very nice that we've noticed a big change in Korean culture in the last 11 years is that men and women are increasingly sharing the responsibilities of child rearing and household maintenance. So you often see fathers out alone with their children here, no mother to be seen. Whereas 10 years ago, you would never see a Korean father with a baby. Never. Wouldn't happen.
Ah. Well, thank you for coming with your real account, Indora. They switched accounts.
Oh.
Like and subscribe with all of them.
Well, welcome back, Indora. Thank you for joining us from yet another account. Much appreciated. And if any of you see something and you would like a closer look at it, just let us know. We are happy to oblige. One of the benefits of the live stream format is that we can really interact.
Nice. Ooh, the geese are usually over here in this corner.
Oh no, they're over there. See them? Their little white bodies?
Oh yeah, I see them.
Okay. Everyone,
we'll have to go by there.
We have to go over there and show you the pretty ugly geese. I know that sounds judgmental, but you'll understand.
Oh.
They're actually, that's where the ladies go and feed them. Did I tell you about the ladies who come with like containers of lettuce and vegetables for them?
Can't say anything. We have like 4 accounts, don't we?
Oh yeah, no, we have. I've got. I mean, just for me,
just for you have 4
4
accounts.
channels.
Oh, 5 accounts.
Yeah.
4 channels, 5 accounts.
Yeah.
And then there's my 2 accounts.
Yeah,
So
we live in an account-rich environment when it comes to YouTube.
Indora said they have 9 accounts.
Yeah, with there's the Creative Contessa, which is my medieval living history, dance, sewing, creative, historical creativity, and then there's this channel, Travels with the Creative Contessa. Then there's the Kitties of the Palace, which is our cat content channel, and then there's Walking with the Contessa, which is just pure walks. Normally, we would be doing this stream on that channel, but we can't live stream from it yet because we only have 33 subscribers. I haven't really worked on building that one at all. I've really been completely lazy with that one. The other ones take up way too much time right now. I just love the sweep of the mountains, all the layers.
It's beautiful. there's a long comment. Just a sec.
Sorry, we're stopping to read the comment.
Only the channel owner can see your comments. Oh, that is weird. I don't know why that would be. Oh, here we come to the geese.
Oh, here we are. So, these are...
Its head is on the ground.
That's easy. Here are the geese of Susong. They are just so charmingly special looking. I just love them. And there are ladies who come here at least once a day with prepared vegetables for them, lettuce and carrots, all sorts of things. And so they know when it's their time. They wait for these ladies. And they know who they are. You'll notice they're not coming up to us. No. They know who these ladies are.
At least they're nice geese.
They seem to be nice.
That one's got its head under its wing.
Oh,
That is adorable.
look at that one. Big feet both of these have. Can you zoom in on them?
Try.
Show them up close.
Takeda says, at least they're nice geese.
Yeah, these ones want the humans to like them and give them food, so. Yeah, but when these ladies come, they get raided, they pet them. It's remarkable. The geese of Susong. And
Okay.
diving ducks. Right, okay.
Yep. Where are we going? Are we crossing here?
Yeah, we'll cross. So we are now heading away from the lake to the obnoxiously loud main road on which are located a plethora of eateries.
What? I do not understand why the phone is... Okay. Weird.
What happened?
They were just sitting at a really stupid angle. And see that building right there? That is a bathroom as well. Do you remember how we get down from here?
Yeah. Just follow. This way. So they often have in this area, this courtyard here, there's often performances by traditional Korean musicians and dancers. Pop concerts are held here, classical concerts. During the summer they actually do, and they might still do it now actually, they do Zumba free dance aerobics basically, which are highly utilized by especially the elderly population who maybe can't afford membership at a gym but want to stay in shape.
The elder population here is very big on fitness, like getting out, doing walks, yoga, exercise,
Yeah.
Zumba,
Yeah,
something,
octogenarians here
anything.
can cop a squat and get back up again. American octogenarians cannot do that for the most part. Not many of them anyway. Now, I bet that the younger generations that have been raised in Western style seating will not have that ability.
We're technically Americans.
We are. That's what our passport says, and our birth certificates. Well, actually, your birth certificate.
I have a birth
You have
certificate
two.
that says I'm English,
You have two. British, sir.
British. Actually, I was born in England.
Yes, but your birth certificate
Yeah, it
says
says
you're
British. True. What about you? Where are you from?
So we have lived in many parts of the world and traveled in many parts of the world, and we appreciate the differences that we encounter everywhere, pretty much.
And now
Well,
we
maybe not right next to the lounge road.
Oh, we're from North India as well.
Different.
North India.
Oh, wow. Welcome. Welcome to Daegu, South Korea. Have you been here to any part of Korea? Yeah, just let me know if any of you have actually been to Korea, where you've been, and what you thought of it in general. Did you like the food? What about the museums, the sites, the infrastructure? And one of the things we really love about being here is that we don't have to have a car. We can easily travel around everywhere without a car.
Yeah, this road's one of the main intersections. And traffic's actually really light right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're just going right there, right?
We are. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, I told you going this way wouldn't actually be that much longer.
You're right.
And it was nicer, I think.
I think you're right. We should have stayed up there last time.
More pleasant.
We're going to that one right there.
So yeah, we are going here to Yongjiangsu.
I'm going to lower this. Yeah.
And so that dish on the right, can they see?
Yep.
That is posam. That is braised pork belly, sliced and served plain, and then you eat it as a leaf wrap with sauces or without sauces. Next to that is a kind of jeon. It's a seafood pancake basically, but savory. Then you've got the wonderful bibimbap, and that's not dulse bibimbap, so that's just regular bibimbap, not hot because it's a metal bowl. And then there's the jeon, the buckwheat noodles that I mentioned. They have several kinds here. If I have more people, I don't know, maybe we'll order some of the noodles. We never order noodles.
I don't like the noodles. Yeah, she can read and speak a little bit of Korean.
I can speak like a 4-year-old.
I can read Korean because it takes like an hour and a half to learn. But oh, Phil Goodyear.
Oh my God, it is hot enough here to cook fish.
Phil Goodyear just came on.
Oh, Phil, welcome. Hopefully you can still hear. Okay. So, I am thirsty after all of that talking in a desert-like climate that we currently inhabit.
It's very on your face.
It's very on my face. Great. Fantastic.
There we go. Let's further up.
Okay, so this is how we order in a lot of new restaurants in Korea. This is now the ordering method. Right, so you have a screen, and happily I can read the Korean, but for your benefit, I'll switch to English so you can see what the menu is. Now, granted, that may not actually change the language depending on where you are, and here it apparently doesn't. So I will just tell you what we usually order. We usually order posam, which is right here, and this is a set for 2 people, 30,000 won, which is about $22 US. And then with that, you have to order some kind of, this one says necessary single choice, means you have to order an extra thing to go with it. But the crazy thing is that the extra does not cost much more. The extra costs relatively little, actually. So we're actually going to get some bibimbap.
I don't think I've experienced a North Korean themed restaurant.
No, I have not seen that, and it's unlikely. I think it would probably be unlikely to see that here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what drinks do we want? So I'll just go through item by item so you can kind of see what's what. So this is the damn it, I wanted it to open up so you could see it. I'll fix that in a minute. So this over here is this is the buckwheat noodles in soy milk. It's actually quite tasty.
Unfortunately, it's too tall now.
Yeah, it's too tall, but it's okay. Yeah. Right, so we've got lots of tasty different noodle dishes. Noodle soup. It's all soupy noodles, right? That's very, very popular in Korea. Right, you've got tteokguk, which is basically rice dumplings that have been sliced and then put in soup. Right, and then we get to the fun things. So this is a kind of alcohol. It's a rice-based alcohol, and it actually gets served in this charming ceramic container, which is why do you want to just order? Do you want to order one?
Do you want to order one? Sure.
Instead of what we usually get? Okay. And then, of course, different kinds of soju, beer
somebody
that
else
isn't
said
worth
the
drinking.
name earlier.
Of which one?
Saying that you look like Nora Fatehi.
Oh,
Which I'm going to have to look up now.
I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, and then once you've got your order set, you click on, this is the only place where it's English is here. I just realized it was English. Okay, lets you check everything before you commit, and then the order. And then it is very happy for you to have made your choices.
Oh God, we're under a heater.
Yeah, we are under a heater. Oh my God. Well, do you want to move over one? Or?
Do you want to take them to the
To the
self-help
bar?
bar? Here you go. It'll be easier if you just...
Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to show you something else they do here. So we have the self-service bar. So included in your price is tea and coffee, well, coffee. And then over here, you actually help yourself to rice or more broth if you want it. So we come over here. We have sauces and pepper. So yeah, we've got, this is, you can have as much as you want. These are evil peppers, although they're more evil down towards the tip than up towards the top. Samjang is a lovely dip. This is a radish and mustard green kimchi. That back there is actually salted shrimp that you use as a seasoning. This is not kimchi, it is just cabbage salad. And then here, you can get as many leaves as you want for your wraps. Yep. Ah, look, here, and this, like I said, it comes in this fantastic ceramic container. I love this, with the beautiful ceramic cups. It's splendid.
See?
Yes, you can see. So this is a local, it's kind of, it's similar to makgeolli. So it's somewhere between rice wine and rice beer, honestly. And it's carbonated, and actually on a summer day, it's particularly refreshing. Yes, you can actually see, spill it, you can actually see the carbonation popping up to the top.
Now we can show them where the utensils are.
Yep, okay. If you're in a Korean restaurant, utensils are nearly always in a drawer here. So you map them down, and here will be your sujang, or sukara, which is a spoon, and then dokara, or your chopsticks. Affectionately referred to in shorthand as sujang. This is for resting. And then, of course, because you want to have clean hands, there are wipes. And one of my favorite things about Korean restaurants versus American restaurants or European or anywhere else in the world, the bell. If you need something, you don't have to shout, you don't have to plead, you don't have to beg. You just ring the bell and they will come. It's fantastic. Much more civilized.
Because I got it, when it was looking down, your hat looked like you're a strawberry shortcake.
So they do provide you with all of the banchan to start with, and then when you want more, you can go and refill on whatever you want. So, any questions? The food will be coming shortly, I promise. It does not take long here because...
Yeah, like a plane, ring the bell for an air hostess.
As I was just saying, it does not take long. And voila. Okay, so this is posam. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is black sesame tofu, which is very, very creamy.
I'm going to set it like this so they can see when they put the scalding thing
The scalding thing down. If you have any questions about anything, just let us know. For those who don't know what kimchi is fermented vegetables, basically. And kimchi can be of anything. It can be made of cabbage, it can be made of cucumber, it can be made of mustard leaves, as these are. That's not kimchi. It's cabbage salad. It hasn't actually been fermented. It's proto-kimchi. And these peppers are generally, these ones are actually usually not the evil ones, but the part that's actually evil in evil peppers is the ribs. All right. Okay, everyone. Well, this is it. This is the dolsa bibimbap, which literally means stone pot bibimbap. And we should maybe show them. Can they see? I don't know how well they see. Isn't that gorgeous? This beautiful rainbow of different vegetables, egg and beef, all on top of rice. And the rice is slowly crisp because I can feel the heat out to here from this thing. And now I'm going to add my sauce. Make sure to keep your hands away so that you don't burn yourself on the steam. But what's going to happen now is I'm going to stir it and turn it from this beautiful thing into something that looks utterly unappetizing. But as I stir, the liquid is going to evaporate and it's going to make something that's the texture of risotto, actually, Italian risotto. And make it kind of creamy and yummy and flavorful, and because the soup is salty, it will infuse everything with that yummy saltiness. So this is our super secret patented technique for dolsa bibimbap. Anytime we do this in front of a Korean, they look scared. A lot of people like to wait with their bibimbap until the dolsa bibimbap, until the rice actually develops a good crisp bottom. And I do like that too, but I also like the really creamy, texture that arises when you add the broth when the pot is still scary lava hot.
Oh yeah, she got cut on her finger, which developed infection, and now
6 weeks later,
they did a biopsy to try and figure out what's wrong with the infection. We find out next Thursday.
Yeah, so this brace is to keep me from bending it because the infection is in the joint. And so they took a biopsy from the joint, which of course, just your fingers bend whether you want them to or not. So this is to keep me from ripping out my stitches. Isn't that fun? Oh.
How do you eat it normally?
The bibimbap? Well, first I let it finish cooking, basically at this point. And then most Koreans will actually use a spoon. So they will use chopsticks for their bibimbap if they're looking to pick out very specific parts, like that. But otherwise, Koreans use their spoon. So now he's going to demonstrate the leaf wrap experience. And there is no right way to do this. I've seen Koreans pile all sorts of things onto their leaves. As I said, I like to put the pork on top of the hot rice because then it actually takes the beautiful fat and sort of renders out a little bit into the rice, adding even more flavor. And no, that is definitely, I've not seen any Koreans do that necessarily, but it's what I do.
They just don't usually pour their soup in quite so early.
Yeah.
That's the main difference.
Yeah, Koreans will pour their soup in eventually, but usually not when it's still so hot that you could lose 3 layers of skin. Only crazy foreigners do that.
I did it the first time because I do not like my food to burn.
What was this called again? So this alcohol was dongdongju. Yeah. So this is called dongdongju. And I love that they serve it in this beautiful ceramic vessel in these lovely Korean cups. And it's basically like fizzy rice punch.
I wish we got to keep it.
Yeah, I wish we got to take this home. Yeah, so any questions about any Korean dining practices, Korean food? This have them in the comments.
Yeah, it's definitely lunchtime for us.
Yeah, it's lunchtime. Oh, this leaf. This leaf is my favorite leaf. This is called a perilla leaf in English or keni in Korean. And some people think it's a sesame leaf, but it's not. Perilla is not the same as sesame. And I love it because it's got a dense texture. It's not watery and flavorless like, these leaves are. And it has a citrusy, peppery flavor. So I really think it enhances the food, and it's very nutrient dense. So it's good for you too. A little bit of samjang, a slice of raw garlic, because this is Korea and raw garlic is a vegetable that you eat just like it is. A little bit of mustard green kimchi for pep and zest.
Phil says his only complaint about Korean barbecue is that you have to cook it yourself. And
Agreed.
He's not a good cook. Yeah, it took me a little while to learn how to use chopsticks too, but it's definitely doable. Although I have my own way of doing it. Like, I do this.
He has a very unique method.
I know other people have it. I think I can do it. I don't know. Hey, it worked. I like my way better.
Yeah, so this is the standard method, right? And then there's the Ryan method.
No fish with today's meal.
Nope, no fish with today's meal. Ryan doesn't actually like fish, and I'm very picky about fish. I don't really care for fishy fish. I prefer meaty fish, so I love salmon, I love tuna, tilapia is good, yellowtail, swordfish, cutlass fish, but mackerel, yellow corned beef.
Mine looks like an octopus with chopsticks.
Yeah, that's actually pretty apt. An octopus with chopsticks. Yeah, where your hands are two separate parts. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
Tanya, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, the chopsticks are flat.
Yep. I really like the metal chopsticks because they're smaller and not as bulky as the round chopsticks tend to be. So it makes for getting food in my mouth easier. I don't have a very big mouth, contrary to popular belief.
No. The food here is delicious, I will admit.
And honestly, for the price, so all of this, all the pork, the chujolsa bibimbap, as many of the side dishes as we want, plus this crazy huge vessel of dongdongju, all of that is 38,000 won, which is like $25 US. And there will be nothing more than that. There will be no tax.
It's like $32 now.
Really? Did the dollar drop that much?
But still, you can't beat that.
Yeah, but there'll be no tax, there'll be no tip on top of that, is my point. That is the price we will pay.
The rolled up white thing. That's a napkin.
This is a napkin.
This is
Black sesame tofu.
black sesame tofu.
Yep.
It's really good.
Yeah, quite tasty. Especially with just a little bit of samjang to make the flavors pop. This is gochujang. It is not ketchup. It is gochujang. I'm not a huge fan because it's too sweet, actually, this isn't even gochujang. This is gochujang that's been turned into bibimbap sauce. The reason I don't like it is usually it's too sweet if it's the commercially available stuff. Homemade gochujang is amazing because it's not made with garbage corn syrup. Unfortunately, a lot of the commercially available gochujang is now made with corn syrup.
Phil said he used to dance under the name Gorilla Leaf.
Huh?
Okay.
Gorilla leaf?
Or Gorilla
Leaf. That's fun.
Tofu is like a paneer in India.
It is. Yeah. Except paneer is sweet, which tofu is definitely not.
Have we had topoki? Topoki? T-O-P-O-K-I?
Okay. Were you talking about tteokbokki?
It says it's a spicy street food, so maybe.
That's tteokbokki. Yes. So tteokbokki, T-T-E-O-K-K-B-O-K-I, is rice dumplings, rice cakes, chewy rice cakes in a sweet and spicy red sauce, right? Yes, we have had it. It's usually too sweet for me.
Okay, Susan, that's some terrible tofu. You can definitely get firmer tofu. My recommendation, go to a local Asian market and they'll have firm tofu.
Well, there's different grades of tofu. There's silky tofu, which is used in a lot of soups, Korean soups.
She said it was a shaky blanc manji thing.
Mm-hmm. That's probably silken tofu. And that's also used in Korean cuisine. There's different grades of tofu. From silken, which basically, if a spoon touches it, it falls apart, all the way up to firm enough to build houses out of.
And we have.
And we have. Dongju for the win. This whole bottle was 4,000 won, which is about $3. Isn't that crazy? Questions, comments, anyone? Do let us know.
Takeda said he misses the black tofu. He can't get it where he's at.
Oh yeah, it is good stuff. I get spoiled living in Asia means I forget what we don't have access to in the U.S. Of course, then people ask me when I go back to the U.S. if I want to go out to a Korean restaurant. Absolutely not. Your average Korean restaurant in the U.S. is not owned by Koreans anymore, by the way, and is a pale shadow of what Korean food should be. So no, I don't eat Korean food when I'm in the U.S. unless I know the owners and know how they cook. So I generally will not have recommendations for Korean restaurants wherever you happen to live in the U.S. I'll tell you where not to go based on where I tried and where I felt they failed badly. We once went to a Korean restaurant in Delaware. She wanted to charge us for refills on the kimchi. No Korean restaurant in Korea would ever dream of charging you for refills on your kimchi.
As a respected Asian, it's his responsibility to go for spicy tofu, even if they don't want to.
Yeah, sometimes one does have to uphold the traditions. But that's the funny thing about Korean food. And Asian food in general is that some of the ingredients, we commented on this earlier, some of the ingredients that are now inherent to Asian food, Korean in particular, for example, gochu, the red pepper. Everyone thinks that is the quintessence of Korean cuisine, is the red pepper. Not before the 20th century it wasn't. Peppers weren't introduced here until the 18th century by the Dutch, or via the Dutch, and they didn't make it into regular cuisine until after the Korean War. Before that, the only thing gochu was really used in was kimchi making by the poor and the people who couldn't afford much, because the gochu would actually retard microbial growth for longer than just the regular fermentation process. But actually the nobility, the aristocracy, royalty, did not like gochu, the red pepper, at all. They thought it was painful and awful tasting. Why would you eat it, they said. So this thing that has only been part of Korean cuisine for a very short amount of time has now turned itself into the quintessence of that cuisine, even though it's not a tradition at all. Very interesting.
Same problem with Indian food, where you can't go to an Indian restaurant if you're actually from India. That's what they were, Aaron was saying, Indora.
Yeah, and Dora, I was thinking about Indian food too as I spoke. That being said, if you're in Seattle, if it's still there, up in Redmond, there is an Indian buffet that is operated by Indians, and the only people who eat there are all the Indian expats and Pakistani expats and probably some Afghani expats too, who live in that region and work probably for Microsoft. And that buffet is definitely Indian cuisine like I've had in India. And it is spicy enough to peel the enamel off of your teeth. And the only people who eat there are people from the subcontinent or that part of the world. Whenever we go there, we're the only pale people, aren't we, Hanson? Yeah. So there are some authentic Indian restaurants too, but again, you have to know where they are. And yeah.
And be willing to go in.
And be willing to go in. Because this one, if you looked at it from the outside, you might not want to go in, just because it's not the nicest shopping center. And I will say that inside the furniture isn't in the best state of repair. But who cares? The food is really good.
It's amazing.
The food is amazing, and the price cannot be beat. It's like, I don't know what it is. Probably $17 for all you can eat now. But there's a lot of things on that buffet, and you get fresh made idli and freshly made. Darn it, stuck in Korean. Pull out of Korean.
Are you talking about the bread?
The fermented rice crepes that are so yummy and crispy from the south. Dosa. They make fresh dosa, which are included in the price of the buffet. So they literally bring them out still on the griddle and serve them fresh at table. Pretty amazing.
Okay. Silken is often most common in the West. If it is in a liquid soup and holds together, I thought it said soap at first. I was like, what? It is freeze-dried tofu. Evidently, the freeze-drying helps it hold together. Interesting, Takeda. The bibimbap is looking yummier by the minute.
So remember, there's a difference between regular bibimbap, cold bibimbap, which is served usually in a brass bowl, not heated up, and dulsa bibimbap, which comes out in a stone pot that could be used to remove the skin from your body. So keep that in mind. Dulsa, stone pot bibimbap is what this is, and it will be hot. It will be so hot that you will need to give it time before you shove it in your mouth. Unless you're Korean, in which case I think Koreans are born with Teflon in their mouth, so they don't feel the heat.
We went to a restaurant up in Seoul and got this super hot soup. And we got our soup, and then this Korean lady sat down next to us, ordered the super hot soup, ate it all before ours was cool enough to even touch. It was crazy.
It's true.
And
Koreans are born with asbestos linings.
And I'd say it's less about not making her angry and more about just communication, because I definitely make the Contessa angry.
Who does?
I do, occasionally.
You do?
I'm saying as an ex-husband.
So in Korea, they eat a lot more roots than we do in the West. For the most part, Western cuisine has walked away from root vegetables. So for instance, this looks like a pale white carrot, perhaps, but it's not. This is bell flower root. It has an acrid, what I actually consider to be a lovely acrid taste, or the sweetness of the pork really well.
Nora says, I don't think that food will affect my enamel. We grew up with spicy food. It's in the blood now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm afraid you and Dora, you were probably born with DNA that gave you extra enamel. Because your nearby ancestors who didn't have that didn't make it. Yeah, so Indian cuisine, take note, Indian cuisine in Korea will invariably be Korean level spicy, which competes very nicely with Indian level spicy. So if you're Indian and you come to Korea and you get curry, I promise you it will be spicy. But it might not have the right spice flavor profile because they might use gochu instead of the Indian variety cultivars of red peppers.
Takeda said they used to make the silken tofu firmer by frying it in oil.
Yeah.
But freeze drying it twists the proteins and makes it more consistent to produce. And
Oh,
cheaper.
interesting.
Phil Goodyear asks, the Korean live squid dishes can be dangerous to swallow. Have either of one of you experienced an adverse squid meal?
Yes. Once I tried octopus, actually, live octopus. One little piece. And I decided never again would I eat food that is fighting me so hard that isn't even sentient. Because the octopus is sentient, but its tentacle isn't. And that little bastard was fighting for its life. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I only tried it because I do believe that you should try everything that won't kill you immediately, at least once. And so I did. But I'm no good at animal suffering and seeing them prepare the live octopus and cut its tentacles off. It was no. I mean, I couldn't even handle when we were in Daegu and we had black pork and it was a mixed platter, so it came out with abalone. And the abalone were on the shell and still alive. And they put them living onto the grill. I had a nervous meltdown. We took the abalone and we tossed them back into the ocean and hoped they weren't too damaged from the heat. Like, I can't even do that. So, yeah, I'm afraid eating animals still alive. I can cleanly kill an animal and eat it, no problem. But I can't. The suffering is the part where I can't do it.
My name is Ryan, and she's Rachel.
I'm Rachel. I am the Contessa, the creative Contessa, as I'm known on several of my other channels. And my companion is my husband, my condottiero, also known as Ryan. Welcome to Daegu, South Korea. We are in Suseong, which is sort of one of the very touristed parts of Daegu. Not touristed by Westerners, by the way, touristed by Koreans. And we're at a restaurant that specializes in a couple of different things, but it's really, I would call it a nice casual dining place where the prices are reasonable and the quality of food is very good.
Yeah, the Contessa does not like sweet foods so much.
Yeah, I'm not much of a sweet. I cut raw sugar and refined carbohydrates out of my diet years and years and years ago. And once I cut the refined sugars out of my diet, my sweet meter dropped. So what I consider sweet, I consider bread, regular bread. If it's not sourdough, it tastes sweet to me. That should tell you something.
Susan said she'd want to save the octopus and keep it in a bowl till it's large enough to survive in the ocean.
I especially because octopus are actually, we know they're not just, they're sentient and they're intelligent. Makes it even harder. That being said, pigs are sentient and intelligent, and I'm eating pork belly, so, you know. I acknowledge my biology. So do you all have any favorite Korean dishes that you've tried either in Korea or outside of Korea? In Korea, there are actually Korean barbecue places that will cook the food for you. If it's a quality barbecue place, they will cook it for you.
There's another comment.
Oh, you got some more samjang?
We're losing Indora. They're going to breakfast.
Enjoy your breakfast, Endora. Thank you for joining us. I hope to see you later. As we sit here eating our own breakfast, because for us this is breakfast. This is our first meal of the day, even though it's almost 1 o'clock here. Yeah, 1 o'clock.
It is 1 o'clock.
Did anyone answer my question about Korean?
Did you ask a question about
While you were gone, I asked if anyone had favorite Korean dishes.
No, not yet.
We shall see.
This is one of my favorites. Looks terrible, but it tastes delicious.
It's called samjang, and it's a mixture of tenjang, which is fermented soybean paste, which is a mixture of fermented soybean paste, and then sesame oil and salt and a little bit of gochujang, and then that's all mixed together into this sauce, which is a typical accompaniment for leaf wraps. If you have meat, even just dipping it in the meat.
Hold up your finger.
No.
Hi, say hi to English Joes.
English Joes. Joes, Joes. English Joes, hello. Nice try. Thank you for playing.
There's a subscriber.
Yeah, so for those who are wondering and missed the short story, when we were in Athens 7 weeks ago, I scraped my finger on a nail on the bottom of a chair in a cafe as I went to move the chair forward. Well, 2 weeks later, it got infected. And while I was in Spain, and I went to see an emergency room urgent care doctor there. He gave me antibiotics, and it seemed to heal. And then 3 days after the antibiotics ended, it came back. And the next course of antibiotics did nothing for it. So they took a biopsy, they took a punch test, and this is keeping me from bending my finger because it's at the joint. So now that hopefully we'll find out what is actually causing this infection, and then we can provide a targeted treatment instead of just throwing antibiotics of random strains at him. That's my hope, anyway. If you have any questions about traveling in Korea, living in Korea, dining in Korea, just pop them in the chat and we will answer them. We're just enjoying what is for us breakfast. It is technically lunch if you go by time of day, but this is our first meal, so we have just now broken our fast.
English Joe does say get well soon.
Oh, thank you. I hope so. I hope it's nothing. I will say that by Korean standards, the procedure to have this punch test done was actually pretty expensive. So, I hope it turns out to be something very easily treatable and not an antibiotic-resistant infection.
It costs more than an MRI.
Yeah, well, CAT scan. Or how much was your MRI?
My MRI was like $150.
The puncture test and the stitches and the whole procedure and the testing costs more than an MRI. So that was kind of shocking. Because Korean healthcare is usually very, very reasonable. But I guess the second you have another doctor working on you instead of a machine, it gets more expensive. For those who missed the memo, this is mustard leaf kimchi. So these are the greens from the mustard plant, and they've been fermented. Tastes like not terribly long.
maybe a couple of days. Certainly not a long ferment. I personally love kimchi that is so fermented that it turns your cheeks inside out. I like it. Yeah, I like it to really. I like you to feel the fermentation. You know what I mean? Sour is the name of the game. So I really like what they call old kimchi. In the translations, should be aged. Yeah, it should be aged kimchi. But you know, they just look up the Korean expression, and the first word they get is old. So that's what ends up on the menus in English. But I really like aged kimchi, and I prefer mul kimchi. Really translates to water kimchi because I add flavor without the gochu. It's not the level of spice. I'm not so fond of the flavor of the red pepper in everything. So heresy it may be, but as I was saying earlier, red pepper has only been part of Korean cuisine for 100 years. So, big difference between Seoul and Daegu. Daegu is very friendly to foreigners. They love foreigners here. They're very welcoming of them. They will bend over backwards to figure out how to communicate, even if they don't speak English. Seoul, people tend to be a little more jaded about foreigners, less excited about them. So you'll get a different sense of welcome in Seoul than you will in a city like Daegu. Which is why I recommend getting out of Seoul. Most people come to Korea and all they see is Seoul, but there's so many better places to see than Seoul.
That's why we're impressed that you went to Suwon. We do like Suwon a lot too.
Yeah, if you watch Korean K-dramas, you would think that Daegu or Seoul and Korea are the same. Like there is nothing but Seoul. The occasional village out on the water or in the countryside.
That's, you have to have the water village for those fishing scenes with the sunsets.
Right. So yeah, my biggest tip for traveling to Korea, go beyond Seoul.
That's great. Something got me.
Spice?
Yeah. And there was nothing really spicy here, so I don't know if I just got that one kernel of spice that...
There's some big chunks of gochu flakes here.
Maybe that's what it was.
That's pretty chunky. That feels like Korea's answer to kombucha.
Hard kombucha.
Hard kombucha.
By Jeremy Renner. This is hard kombucha. You should not be there.
Okay, well, are there any questions about dining in Korea, about getting around Korea, things to see, tips you would like? If you're watching this as a recording, if you put your questions in the comments, we'll answer them. For those of you who've joined us, I'm just going to give you a chance to get any last minute questions in, last minute comments before we part ways. So still a few more minutes, you don't have to panic, but now's last call for questions and comments before we bid farewell as we walk back down the river home and continue on with our day. And for those of you who are following me on the Creative Contessa in my medieval living history endeavors, I promise I'm gonna try to fit a live stream in today. Some of you might be asleep when I do, but I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to get onto my daily live streaming schedule. I promise. I've just been so exhausted these last weeks. dead in the water. So I hope to get back to my regular daily live streaming schedule there. And of course, if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And I'd like to thank my channel members. Tanya, if you're still there, appreciate your support massively. Thank you all for supporting my ability to share my travel adventures with you, whether you like and subscribe, leave comments, or actually decide to become a channel member, which of course gives you access to exclusive content and extra reviews and unedited footage where you can see me being stupid. Yes, I tend to edit the stupid out of my final finished polished videos, but I leave it in the uncut footage for my channel members and patrons. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope to see you on my next little travel adventure. Until next time, may your travels be completely unplanned and unexpected, as mine always are, even when I do plan them. Bye, everyone.
Gosh.